Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and Avery Superstore.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Once again, it's Outdoors with Larry Ray, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor programming in the Memphis area, coming to you from the Spacious 790 ESPN studios. For you good folks in Brownsville, Tennessee, we're at 95.3 and News Talk 101.5 for all our friends in Jackson, Tennessee. Now, normally I introduce the Oracle of the Outdoors, the one and only Larry Ray. But today, Larry has asked me to go ahead and introduce the next guest, whom I've known for a good number of years and have a interesting working relationship with him. On the phone with us is Jack Combs, who is this year's president of the Master National Retriever Club and is about to oversee the largest performance event in the history of the American Kennel Club in October in Chehalis, South Carolina. And Jack has a more interesting distinction in that he is the only person that has qualified a poodle at the Master National Retriever Club and has qualified multiple poodles to enter in the event. So, Larry, I give you Jack Combs.
Hey, that was that pretty good, Jack? It was good, wasn't it? I mean,
it was. I'm surprised. It's early in the morning.
Yeah, well, he had it written down. No, he didn't. It all came off the top of his head, and we really are glad, Jack, to get you on the show. And Frank talked about trying to get you with us, and I respect this man with me so much in our friendship, not only in the duck blind, but being a part of this show and as a businessman. But he brought the book. I've seen the picture of you with one of your dogs, and a lot of folks are going to say 1,019 dogs and 2 poodles. Is that right? That's right, Frank.
Two of them are poodles.
So let's talk, Jack. Jack is he's retired from teaching public policy and research methods at Brown University. My wife has 2 standard poodles. They currently live in Monticello, Florida during the winter. And as Frank said, he is the president of the Master National Retriever Club, been on the board since 2010. The man knows dogs and he knows poodles. So there's a lot of folks who's going to pull over the side of the road right now, Jack, because this is a retriever company. This is labs, and this is all the pointers from Ames Plantation and Grand Junction and the National Bird Dog Championship, and we're talking poodles. So tell us how this happened and how you got involved in poodles and what experiences. I mean, these poodles go in the duck blind with you, right?
Yes, sir, they do. They hunt upland birds, chukar, quail, pheasants, as well as ducks. My wife and I got involved with retrievers.
Okay.
Starting in England.
In England, okay.
In England. I grew up in the Midwest with predominantly spaniels and some pointers.
Uh-huh.
I did not see much retriever work growing up, so I really wasn't very familiar with it.
Huh.
We were in England. I was judging a hound show there.
A hound show.
And hound shows, yes. Foxhounds.
Yes.
At the time, it was being held at something called a game fair.
Okay, I've heard of those.
Game fairs are sort of like country fairs, but they have a lot more demonstration events.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw listed a demonstration for retrievers. And I thought, well, let's go see this. And we did. And oddly enough, rather than having a lab, they were using a black standard poodle from Germany.
Okay.
Now, most people think of poodles as being French poodles. Well,
yeah.
That's just not the case at all. They're not French. Actually, they started in Germany.
Okay.
So they were demonstrating a blind, and I'd never seen a blind. And guy has a dog next to him, and the dog doesn't know where this bird is, but he sent the dog. The dog went in the water, and it's swimming, and he blew a whistle. The dog stopped, turned, was treading water, and I thought to myself, my God, look at this. This is incredible.
Yes.
He gave a cast. The dog took it. I thought, oh, God, I got to do this. This is fantastic. What a great relationship between the dog and the handler.
Yes, yeah.
It took quite a while, but we eventually found a woman who had poodles that were working, that were doing retriever tests, and her name was Eileen Jaskowski. She was from Colorado.
Colorado.
And
okay.
we convinced her to sell us a poodle.
How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
That was probably 14 years ago,
Okay.
15 years ago.
Okay. You got your first poodle. Okay.
Got my first poodle. His name was Bang. Go Bang.
What name was what? What was his name again?
Go Bang.
B-A-N-G?
Yes, sir.
Go Bang. Okay.
Like a gun.
This is getting better. Keep going. I'm listening. So was everybody. Truck driver driving down the interstate to Mississippi this morning said, this guy's talking about poodles here. Go ahead.
Right.
It's great. Go.
Poodle's working. Right. So I didn't really know anything about retrieving, actually. And I was fortunate enough to have some friends that I knew from shooting at Addyville and Rhode Island that would help me.
Okay.
And it's only because of their guidance that I was able to get started at all. And through their guidance, I was able to put a master title on this poodle. And he was the third master title poodle in the country.
The third. So somebody had. Okay.
There were two others in front of him.
Okay.
His breeder was in front of him for one.
Uh-huh.
So from him, I moved on and got another dog, and that was my little girl 10.
Okay.
She had the same grandfather as Bang did.
Okay.
Who was the first master hunter poodle.
My goodness. Okay.
Anyway, so from there
it just
I learned more and more, and they're a great upland dog, a fantastic upland dog. They have a lot of stamina. They have a lot of very agile. When we first got 10, I took her into a hunting field that had been used in the morning with birds put out. It was at a preserve.
Uh-huh.
And they hadn't gotten all the birds, as they normally don't. So we let this little girl out. She's not quite 11 weeks old. She's flouncing around the ground there, stumbling around, and she's smelling and smelling. And she smelled something, and she started tracking it.
Right.
And she tracked this scent over to a stone wall. This cock pheasant exploded out of that wall, cackling. And my heart almost jumped out of my chest. I thought, my God, this little thing has the instinct to follow up this scent into a stone wall without any training at all.
At 11 weeks old.
11 weeks old. And from there, we spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, to a lot of my friends helping. We got this little girl to a master title. She eventually was the only poodle to ever pass a Master National.
Wow.
Fantastic. These dogs are not as good in the water as labs are, in general. But I think you'll probably find people who say, yeah, my grandfather used one of those dogs. Or, yes, they saw them in the field, in the upland field. So
it's inbred to them. I mean, in other words, they get a bad rap, I guess. I mean, because we think of the Beverly Hillbillies, I do, with their dog, their poodle that jumped in the pool during the TV series, and I can remember that. And Granny was trying to get him to retrieve, and they say, well, no, but you have listen to this. His poodles have qualified for the Master Nash Amateur Invitational 7 times. His dogs have qualified 14 times for the Master National Retriever Club annual event. And they're completely at home hunting upland game and a duck blind and serving as therapy dog in a hospital room. So
that's right.
I'm assuming that you get a lot of questions.
we get a lot of questions. People want to know, where do I get a hunting poodle?
Yes.
And that's a tough question. It's just like if you were to ask somebody who's in the breed ring with labs, where do I get a hunting lab?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not all the breed dogs will do this, just like not all the breed dogs in the lab ring will do this. But if you pay attention and you find the breeder that has dogs that pay attention to you, that do agility, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I think that you would find that they'll also retrieve, and you'll know really quickly whether they're interested in birds if you show them a bird.
Well, I tell you, we're talking to Jack Combs, really out of Wickford, Rhode Island, but is at the Master Nationals this year and is the president of this year's event. And Frank, you've known Jack for a long time. Does it continually amaze you to watch these dogs work? I mean,
Jack's being kind and kind of being understated what his dogs are capable of doing.
Uh-huh.
And I've had an opportunity of seeing him firsthand, 10
uh-huh.
at the event, to a lesser extent Diamond Smoke, but I watched 10. I think it was in 2009. We were in Giddings, Texas, and it was a very difficult water blind that I watched good dog after good dog not do the blind. And then I watched this white standard poodle come to the line, and not only did the dog do the blind, but the dog did the blind better than any other dog did the blind that day. And
amazing.
And yeah, it kind of got me, goosebumps watching it make that swim and what it was capable of doing. And the other thing that Jack hasn't said is there's a little more maintenance with the poodle at the event.
Okay, what is that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because you got to run through all kinds of cover. You got to run through all kinds of mud.
Yeah.
These are hunting dogs. You got tough conditions, but every morning would see 10 come out of the room and get loaded up into their SUV, and 10 looked like it just came out of the beauty parlor every morning.
Is that right, Jack?
That's right, sir.
You want them to look good, right? Not only the presentation, but also the way the dog performs and the way the dog looks. Because I got to imagine your dog stands out among the rest of them. I mean, frankly,
I'm laughing because yeah.
Well,
he comes up. I think the first time I saw Jack at the event, and I said, "Well, who's that?" And someone referred, "It's that poodle guy."
The poodle guy,
right?
You don't mind being called that, do you, Jack? So
no, not at all. Not at all.
Well, let's talk. We got a couple of minutes here. We'll let you go about this event coming up. How do you prepare your dogs for this event?
You basically train all year long, and some people put in more time the closer to the event you get, and others don't. It depends on the dogs. Not all the dogs are the same, and some need more training than others. But generally, this time of year, we're training 3 or 4 days a week.
Okay.
If we can.
Yes.
If we can.
Yeah.
Now, the pro dogs may train every day, but the amateurs probably not. And especially if the amateur's working, I'm fortunate enough to be retired, so I can train more often, and train with birds and train on technical water, those kinds of things. But if you don't have it, if the dog doesn't have it at this point in the year, it's probably not going to get it.
Yes.
in the next 4 weeks.
Well,
so
we could go on and on. Jack, I appreciate you taking time this morning on this Saturday morning, and really a fascinating thing that you're doing that I think a lot of poodle lovers of the world would be very enthused to see this happen and everything. And so good luck over at Cheraw, South Carolina. There's 1,017 dogs, and there's 2 other ones in there, and that's you can look at it that. Thank you, Jack. And we'll try to talk to you later, maybe after the event. But take care of Frank over there for me, okay?
Will do. Frank takes care of us, actually.
He does. He's a good guy. Thank you, Jack. Have a great day. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Let's take a break. That's hard to top. I can tell you right there. I enjoyed that one. Okay. And we're going to post the picture, lroutdoors.com. Go to that. We're going to have one of the dogs. I can't remember which one it is. But we're going to have one of them posted that he sent me.
10.
10, yeah.
A picture of 10.
Yeah, 10. Well, that's 10 cents, right? That's dime? Is that dime?
Dime is one of 10's puppies.
Oh, 10's puppies. Okay. All right. Take a break. Come right back. We're going out California way. Get ready on Outdoors with Larry Ray.